Welcome to today's video, where we're diving into the fascinating world of rare and valuable United States coins that could be sitting right in your pocket or collection. We'll be exploring four incredible pieces that carry both historical significance and surprising market value: the 1976 bicentennial half dollar, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin, the 1973 Washington quarter, and the 1996 Jefferson 5 cent nickel. Each of these coins tells its own unique story about America's history, culture, and changing coinage, and in fine condition, they hold much more than just their face value. Collectors everywhere are chasing these coins for their rarity, beauty, and investment potential, and today we'll reveal why they remain in such high demand. The United States half-dollar coin of 1976, also known as the bicentennial Kennedy half dollar, holds a very special place in the world of American coinage and among collectors worldwide. This coin was minted to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the United States, making it not only a piece of currency, but also a symbol of history, patriotism, and national pride. For collectors today, the 1976 half dollar represents far more than 50 cents. It represents a legacy of American independence and the enduring appeal of commemorative coins. In fine condition, this coin can hold surprising value in the marketplace, especially when rarity, demand, and preservation are considered together. The history and background of the 1976 half-dollar coin make it one of the most iconic U.S. issues ever produced. Unlike the regular Kennedy half dollars that had been minted since 1964, the 1976 edition was part of a special bicentennial coinage program approved by Congress. This program included redesigned reverses for the quarter, half dollar, and dollar coins, all featuring unique imagery celebrating 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The obverse of the half dollar still carried Gilroy Roberts' portrait of John F. Kennedy, a lasting tribute to the beloved president, but the reverse was designed by Seth G. Huntington, showing Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the birthplace of American freedom. Struck between 1975 and 1976, these coins do not carry the year 1975 at all. Every coin from this series was dated 1776 to 1976, forever commemorating the nation's bicentennial. When we consider rarity and condition, these factors play a very important role in determining the value of the 1976 half dollar today. Millions of these coins were struck for circulation, but not all of them have survived in collectible quality. Coins in fine condition can certainly attract collector attention, but those in uncirculated or proof condition can be worth significantly more, especially if they were struck in 40% silver versions rather than the common copper-nickel clad. Many people do not realize that both clad and silver bicentennial half dollars exist, and the silver issues were sold directly to collectors in special sets, making them more desirable today. A coin that has sharp detail, minimal wear, and attractive luster is always going to be in higher demand than one that has been heavily circulated. In terms of current market value in dollars, a regular circulation strike 1976 Kennedy half dollar in fine condition may trade for around its face value to a lot of dollars, but the true value comes with higher grades and special varieties. Uncirculated copper-nickel examples can sell for $53,000 to $67,000 depending on eye appeal, while the 40% silver bicentennial halves can be worth anywhere from $8 to over $40,000 for their silver content, with pristine proof examples selling for even more. In higher mint state grades or deep cameo proofs, prices can climb significantly, with some rare high-grade certified coins fetching well over $100 at auction. For collectors who understand how condition and originality affect demand, the 1976 half dollar represents a piece of history that also has steady growth potential in the market. For those looking to collect these coins, there are several important tips to keep in mind. First, always check the condition of your coin. Finer detail, less wear, and attractive luster all make a difference in value. Second, pay attention to whether your coin is clad or silver, since the silver bicentennial halves are always more desirable. A simple way to tell is by checking the edge of the coin. If you see a copper stripe, it's clad, but if it appears silver all the way through, you may have one of the more valuable issues. Third, Proof and mint sets from 1976 are an excellent source for finding pristine examples, and they often come preserved in government packaging. Finally, keep an eye out for high-grade certified coins, as these are the ones that bring premium values in the marketplace. In conclusion, the United States half-dollar coin of 1976 is far more than just another piece of pocket change. It is a shining reminder of America's bicentennial celebration, a tribute to President Kennedy, and a symbol of the nation's heritage. While millions were produced, those preserved in fine condition, and especially in silver or proof versions, hold strong collector demand and real market value. For collectors, this coin is not only an affordable entry point into the fascinating world of numismatics, but also a piece with growth potential and historical significance. Whether you own one already or are considering adding one to your collection, the 1976 Kennedy Bicentennial Half-Dollar is a true American treasure worth holding on to. Let's get started up. The United States $1 coin of 1979 is one of the most iconic modern coins, carrying both historical importance and collector appeal. Known widely as the Susan B. Anthony dollar, this coin marked a significant change in U.S. coinage and continues to capture the attention of collectors today. Even in fine condition, these coins hold a special place in the world of numismatics because they represent more than just monetary value. They embody a moment in American history where progress, innovation, and symbolism came together in the design of a coin. The history and background of the 1979 $1 coin is deeply rooted in a movement for equality and modernization. First introduced in July 1979, the Susan B. Anthony dollar was the first U.S. coin to feature a real woman rather than a symbolic figure like Liberty. The coin honored Susan B. Anthony, a legendary pioneer of women's rights and a key figure in the suffrage movement. The obverse of the coin features her portrait, designed by Frank Gasparo, while the reverse carries a modified version of the Apollo 11 mission insignia, an eagle landing on the moon, originally seen on the Eisenhower dollar. This blending of history and space exploration gave the coin both patriotic and futuristic meaning. When the coin was released, it was intended to replace the $1 paper note and make commerce more efficient. However, the public reaction was mixed. Because the coin was small, close in size to a quarter, and similar in appearance, many people confused the two denominations. As a result, circulation was limited, and the coin never reached its intended popularity. Despite this, the limited use actually created a unique situation for collectors. While millions were minted, the lack of circulation kept many in better-than-average condition, meaning today, examples in fine condition or better are easier to find and more desirable to own. The rarity and condition of the 1979 $1 coin are critical factors for its value in the market. Though not rare in terms of total numbers minted, certain varieties and well-preserved coins attract much stronger demand. For example, there are distinct wide rim and narrow rim varieties on the Philadelphia Mint coins of 1979, and the wide rim is significantly harder to find, commanding a premium. Similarly, proof coins minted in San Francisco, particularly those with clear and deep cameo contrast, are highly prized. Collectors always look for coins in sharp detail, with minimal wear and attractive surfaces, since condition greatly influences desirability. When it comes to current market value in dollars, the 1979 $1 coin offers a wide range. A standard circulated example may only trade for around face value to $23,000, but coins in fine condition can bring higher returns, often in the range of $5,000 to $10,000. The real excitement comes with varieties and proofs. The 1979 P wide rim dollar is especially sought after, often selling for $30,000 to $70,000 in circulated grades and thousands of dollars in uncirculated condition. For coins graded at the highest levels by professional services, auction records have shown values stretching well beyond what most casual collectors expect. The demand for these coins has remained steady because they represent a pivotal change in U.S. currency and are directly tied to the story of Susan B. Anthony herself. Unlike many modern issues, these coins were only minted for a very short period between 1979 and 1981, and again briefly in 1999. This limited production window adds to their uniqueness. Many collectors view them as essential pieces in any US dollar collection, and the appeal of finding special varieties like the wide rim or a flawless proof ensures that demand remains strong. For collectors looking to add a $1,979 coin to their collection, a few tips can make a big difference. Always start by examining the edge and rim, as varieties like the wide rim can dramatically increase value. Next, evaluate the coin's condition carefully. Coins with crisp detail in Susan B. Anthony's portrait and minimal marks are worth significantly more than those with heavy wear. Proof coins should be inspected for clarity and cameo contrast, as the sharp frost and mirror-like fields are what drive their value. Finally, consider professional grading if you believe your coin is in exceptionally high condition, since a certification from a respected grading service can both preserve the coin and enhance its marketability. In conclusion, the 1979 $1 coin of the United States is much more than just a small piece of change. It is a coin that tells the story of America's progress toward equality, a tribute to Susan B. Anthony's fight for women's rights, and a symbol of innovation during a time when the nation was transitioning into a new era. While millions exist, those preserved in fine or higher condition, especially rare varieties and proofs, remain highly sought after. Collectors today see this coin not only as an affordable and accessible entry point into numismatics, but also as an investment with strong historical and cultural significance. Owning one of these coins is holding a piece of history that continues to inspire, and for those who treasure rare U.S. currency, the $1,979 remains an essential and valuable addition to any collection. Let's get started up. The United States $quarter coin of 1974 continues to be one of the most fascinating issues for coin enthusiasts and history lovers alike. At first sight, it might look like an ordinary Washington quarter, the kind people used every day in the 1970s for groceries, parking meters, or payphones. But in reality, the 1974 quarter holds a unique place in American numismatic history. Preserved in fine condition, it represents far more than 25 cents. It is a collectible treasure that carries heritage, artistry, and market value for collectors worldwide. The history and background of the Washington Quarter series adds depth to the 1974 issue. First minted in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, this coin replaced the standing Liberty Quarter and quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. John Flanagan portrait of Washington was chosen for the obverse, and it has remained a staple design for decades. By the year 1974, the Washington Quarter had already established itself as a symbol of stability in American coinage. It bridged the gap between the silver coinage of the early 20th century and the modern clad coins of today, making the 1974 issue part of this important transition in U.S. currency. The 1974 quarter is particularly significant because it was struck just 3 years before the bicentennial redesign of 1976. Collectors often see the early 1970s quarters as the final standard issues before the special bicentennial program introduced the dual-dated 1776 to 1976 coins with a new reverse design. That makes the 1974 quarter a transitional piece, one that represents the end of an era and the approach of something entirely new. Many collectors seek it out specifically to complete their pre-bicentennial sets. Looking at rarity and condition, the 1974 quarter may not be considered extremely rare in sheer numbers, since millions were produced by the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, the rarity comes into play when condition is considered. Circulated examples are common, but finding quarters from 1974 in fine condition or better, with sharp details and minimal wear, is far less common than many realize. High-grade mint state examples, particularly those certified by professional grading companies, are highly desirable. Proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint are another area of interest, with deep cameo proofs being the most sought after by serious collectors. In terms of market value today, the 1974 quarter shows a healthy range depending on condition and mint mark. A heavily circulated coin may still only be worth face value, but coins in fine condition often sell for $33,000. Uncirculated examples can bring $5,000 to $15,000, and higher-grade certified coins can fetch significantly more, sometimes reaching into the hundreds. Proof coins from San Francisco generally range from $10,000 to $30,000, while the best deep cameo examples can exceed $50,000 or more at auction. This demonstrates how important preservation and careful selection are in determining the true value of the 1974 quarter. What really fuels the demand for this coin is its strong connection to history and its accessibility. Unlike some rare U.S. coins that cost thousands of dollars, the 1974 quarter is still within reach for many collectors, making it both affordable and meaningful. The fact that it was struck during a transitional period in U.S. coinage, when silver coins had already been phased out and the bicentennial celebration was approaching, gives it extra weight in the story of American money. Collectors love owning coins that not only look beautiful but also tell a story about where the country was at a given time. For collectors interested in acquiring these coins, there are some practical tips to consider. Always pay attention to mint marks. Coins without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia, coins with a D were struck in Denver, and proof coins with an S were minted in San Francisco. Among these, the proofs are the most desirable for collectors seeking pristine examples. When evaluating condition, look closely at the high points of Washington's portrait and the eagle's wings on the reverse. These are the areas where wear shows most quickly. A coin that retains its detail and luster in these areas will always be more valuable. Another tip for collectors is to consider proof sets and mint sets from 1974. These sets often contain coins that have been preserved in excellent condition straight from the mint, making them prime candidates for grading or long-term collecting. Proof sets in original government packaging are particularly appealing, especially when the coins show strong cameo contrast. Collectors should also be aware that storing these coins properly in holders, flips, or slabs can help preserve their condition and value for years to come. The 1974 quarter also stands as a reminder of how even relatively recent coins can become highly collectible with time. Coins that people once carried in their pockets are now sought after by collectors for their historical significance and condition. It's a lesson that today's change could become tomorrow's treasure, and the 1974 quarter is living proof of that. Many collectors who once overlooked coins from the 1970s are now returning to them with renewed interest, as values have steadily climbed over the years. In conclusion, the 1974 United States quarter-dollar coin is a hidden gem of modern American coinage. In fine condition, it already carries more value than its face worth, but in uncirculated or proof states, it can bring impressive prices on today's market. Collectors love it for its design, its role in the Washington Quarter series, and its place in the timeline just before the bicentennial celebration. Whether you are a beginner looking for affordable coins with history or a seasoned collector hunting for high-grade proofs and mint-state examples, the 1974 quarter offers something special. It is a coin with lasting appeal, steady demand, and a secure place in the story of America's money, a true collectible worth seeking and cherishing. Let's get started up. The United States 5-cent coin of 1996 may at first appear to be just another common nickel used in everyday transactions, but for collectors, it holds both historical and cultural importance that makes it far more than pocket change. When preserved in fine condition, this coin stands as a reminder of American heritage, artistry in coin design, and the enduring strength of the Jefferson nickel series. What makes the 1996 nickel especially intriguing is how it connects the long tradition of this iconic design with the modern era of U.S. coinage, while at the same time offering surprising value in the collector's market. The history and background of the Jefferson nickel series go back to 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the obverse of the coin proudly features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The reverse shows Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello, a symbol of architecture, culture, and American ideals. By 1996, this design had been in use for nearly 6 decades, making it one of the most recognizable coin designs in U.S. history. The 1996 issue therefore represents continuity, a coin that carried Jefferson's legacy into the closing years of the 20th century. Beyond history, the 1996 nickel carries cultural and economic value. In the mid-1990s, America was experiencing economic growth and cultural change, and coins like the nickel served as small but powerful tokens of everyday life. The nickel has always been one of the most widely used coins in circulation, bridging the gap between lower and higher denominations. At the same time, it reflects cultural pride. Jefferson's portrait reminds Americans of democracy, leadership, and the enduring values on which the nation was built. Collectors appreciate this blend of cultural significance and practical utility, recognizing that coins like the 1996 nickel are more than money. They are pieces of American identity. When it comes to rarity and condition, the 1996 5-cent coin has an interesting story. Over 1 billion nickels were produced that year at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, so in terms of raw mintage, the coin is not rare. However, condition is where the difference lies. Most nickels from 1996 circulated heavily, meaning they picked up scratches, nicks, and wear. Finding one in fine condition, with Jefferson's portrait still sharp and Monticello's details still visible, adds to its appeal. Even more valuable are examples in uncirculated or proof condition, where luster and strike quality elevate the coin well above the everyday nickel. Proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint, with their mirror-like surfaces, are especially prized by collectors. The current market value of the 1996 nickel varies depending on condition and type. A standard circulation nickel from 1996 may be worth only its face value, but in fine condition, collectors can pay between $22,000, depending on sharpness of detail. Uncirculated mint state examples can range from $3 to over $10,000, with the highest grade certified by professional grading services, sometimes selling for much more. Proof versions from San Francisco, especially those with deep cameo contrast, often sell for $5,000 to $15,000, and perfect grade examples can command significantly higher prices at auctions. This shows that even modern nickels can offer surprising value when rarity of condition is considered. Collector demand for the 1996 nickel has remained strong because it represents a piece of U.S. coinage history just before the Jefferson nickel underwent a redesign in the early 2000s. Many collectors aim to build complete date and mint mark sets of Jefferson nickels, and the 1996 issue is an essential piece of that puzzle. The coin's position in the timeline makes it desirable. It belongs to the classic Felix Schlag design era, but it is close enough to the modern era that pristine examples are increasingly harder to find in circulation. As time goes on, the number of high-quality survivors continues to shrink, pushing demand even higher. For collectors interested in securing the best examples of the 1996 nickel, there are some important tips to follow. Always check the condition of the coin closely, paying special attention to Jefferson's cheek and hair, as well as Monticello's steps and columns. These are high points that wear quickly, and coins with sharp detail here are much more valuable. Keep an eye out for proof nickels with strong cameo contrast, as these are always in demand. If you have a particularly well-preserved coin, consider having it professionally graded, since certified coins not only protect the coin but also maximize its value in the marketplace. Additionally, proof sets from 1996 remain a great source of pristine examples. In conclusion, the 1996 5-cent coin of the United States is a hidden gem for collectors. While billions were minted, the real treasures are those preserved in fine, uncirculated, or proof condition. With its long-standing Jefferson design, its place in American culture, and its strong demand among collectors, this coin continues to hold value far beyond its face worth. Whether you are a beginner building a modern nickel collection or an advanced collector searching for top-grade examples, the 1996 nickel offers both history and investment potential. Owning this coin is not just about adding another piece to your collection. It's about holding a piece of America's heritage and preserving it for future generations.